Welcome to Between Two Ferms. Today we're between number 4, filled with spare rib, number 11, filled with F5. I'm Blake, head brewer at COOP Ale Works.
I'm Shawn, I'm the lab rat here.
And today we're talking about Gran Sport Porter.
Yummy, yummy. Nice.
Oh yeah. Porter was actually an original beer to the COOP Ale Works lineup, year-round, and it has since been moved to seasonal. Probably, I would say, we don't really brew beers to style, but stylistically, I would say Porter is probably in the realm of the most solid 2-style beers that we make. So now as our winter seasonal is out in the market, November, December, January, and shameless plug of the day, since we're having a cold weather beer, we've got some cold weather gear.
Yeah, we do.
So Porter, I don't necessarily like to design beers that are overly roasty.
Yeah.
And so even with stout and porter, I try to give the malt its backbone, probably some residual sweetness. We mash this beer as high as we mash any of the beers.
As high as we can.
Yeah, as high as we can, to kind of maintain the dextrin content in the beer. This is a little bit of a nerd alert.
Yeah, it's like a moderate.
Yeah,
it's like
maybe a post, or if you're not a home brewer, nerd alert.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so we try to kind of give this beer all the residual body, sweetness, and kind of push the limits on my roast barometer. But, I honestly think Porter, it kind of hits its peak in the 2 to 3 month range as everything melds together.
I've got some from last year that's probably about a year old now, and I think it's definitely over the line.
Past its prime?
Yeah, unfortunately. I really like that brand. I was kind of hoping that it would hold up because I have some of the old 16-ounce cans.
Oh, do you really?
Oh, yeah, and I held on to a whole case of them in the closet, and I popped one open a couple weeks ago, and it was just it lost some of that body, like some of the protein had fallen out, and it was just, I don't know, it just wasn't quite the same as it was. Funny enough, the roast held on really well.
Oh, really?
As it turns out, yeah. And I mean, I love a roasty, like 1050 style, big, robust coffee stout, because I'm a huge coffee nerd. So I was surprised and intrigued that the roast held on that well.
Yeah.
Just because normally it doesn't. That's why I like 1050 a couple of years old.
Yeah.
It mellows out.
Whereas, for me, the acrid kind of flavor in some beers is something I try to kind of design against. But Porter, like I said, has been around from the beginning. One of the founders of the brewery was the president of the Vespa Club of America.
Really?
And so one of the questions we get about Porter a lot, if you'll notice on our cans, there's an icon. There are icons around the top, but there's one that's individual to each beer. And on this one, it's some sort of bug-looking thing, which happens to be a wasp. And a wasp is Italian for Vespa. So hence Porter, the wasp, and then the Vespa on the front. It all sort of ties together.
See, that's something I didn't know before I started here. And I think Aaron was giving a tour one day and it's like, oh yeah, and by the way, we have the wasp on the can. I was like, oh, that's what that is. Yeah. He's like, it's hard to tell on the iconography because it's kind of small, but it's like, oh yeah, the bug-looking thing.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a wasp, in Italian, wasp is Vespa, and it's like, oh, it all makes sense. All of a sudden, the light went on.
That would have definitely taken me a while to figure out had I not known.
Yeah, especially since all the other ones are pretty straightforward.
Yes.
Minus like maybe the cog for the elevator, but even still like, in a mill, in an elevator silo, you're gonna have cogs to like move stuff. I can see that, but the wasp definitely threw me. That was the only one I didn't realize before coming on here, kind of what it was.
Yeah. We have some good infusions on of Porter this time of year. Aaron does a great job with all the infusions, but
definitely,
vanilla porter. Has he done coffee porter yet?
He has done coffee porter.
That was dope.
He also does chocolate porter. I really want him to do chocolate coffee porter again as like a coffee fiend. If I don't have my cup in the morning, I'm even less pleasant to be around. So that coffee chocolate porter, oh man, that's one of my favorite infusions he does.
Yeah.
The coconut's supposed to be pretty good this year. I'm not a huge coconut fan, but I know a lot of people, especially Shelby. Shelby's one of our packaging techs that works here. like all about that coconut porter.
Yeah, so if you happen to catch this episode before, say, middle of January, stop by the tap room, see if Aaron's got any good infusions of porter working. But this beer should definitely be in the market. I would say probably through February as our seasonal. And yeah, Gran Sport Porter, solid porter, great beer this time of year. Nice enough to cozy up by the fire, smoke some cigars on the porch if you're into that sort of thing.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't hate on the cigars. Every now and again I'll have one, but it's like once a year.
Same here. Yeah,
that's about all.
Maybe once every other year for me.
That's fair. But always around a fire, it's the damnedest thing.
Yeah.
Like every time. I don't know what it is about this weather, but it gets me.
You know. Well, thanks for joining us here between On Two Ferms. Until next time.
Cheers.